Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Trey, and I want to talk about Christmas movies because I've been watching Christmas movies. I told you guys before, I probably have, that I'm a sucker for a good Christmas movie. Of course, it's been a tradition of mine since I was a little kid. I just love watching Christmas movies. No matter how cheesy it is, I am all for the cheese of Christmas. You know what I mean? But today I watched The Princess Switch 3 Romancing the Star. It's a Christmas movie starring Vanessa Hudgens as she plays three duplicates of herself, where she plays the Queen Margaret, Stacy, and Fiona. And it's just the most craziest thing ever. But before I get into talking about this movie, I'm going to talk about the movie and then I'm going to get into what I'm talking about. So, if you guys probably, if you got Netflix, you probably seen the Christmas movie with Vanessa Hudgens in it and stuff like that. And she's done a few Christmas movies that, I'm just, I'm all for anyway. And it seems like Vanessa's kind of building up this Christmas collection in Netflix, which I am fine by. I am all for cheesy Christmas movies. I am not gonna lie. I've watched so many Christmas movies, it's not even funny. But let's talk about the Princess Switch 3 Romancing the Star. So basically, Fiona, the cousin that tried to impersonate her cousin Queen Margaret and accidentally kidnapped Stacy, thinking that Stacy was the queen, while the queen was getting away with her fiance, who was the best friend of Vanessa Hudgens' character Stacy. And it was just kind of crazy because if you know the story, basically Stacy is best friend. Stacy is a bakery in Philadelphia. She and her best friend, they go to a bake off in a fictional country. I think it's Redona or something like that. And pretty much Vanessa Hudgens and Princess Margaret, she was a princess at the time, they discovered that they look like each other. You know what I'm saying? So they decided to do the Princess Switch thing for Christmas. So I thought it was really cute. So pretty much, Vanessa Hudgens is playing Stacy, who is also best friends with Nick. Nick and Stacy kind of are in crossroads right now. Their lovers kind of broke up. Nick dealing with his only daughter. Stacy just wanted to get away and try to forget about her boyfriend, but then when Margaret comes, because she has to kind of marry the Prince Edward of his country or whatever, because he was dethroned or whatever. But Margaret kind of doesn't really want to, because she wants to have a little bit of freedom and she doesn't really want to marry somebody that she doesn't love or whatever. So of course Stacy decides to be her and end up falling in love with Prince Edward instead of Margaret. Then so shenanigans happen, and then both Margaret and Stacy end up falling in love with the person that they were trying to pretend not they don't like each other, because the Kevin's daughter was trying to get her to like, trying to get her to like Stacy, because Stacy and Kevin were so close that the daughter thought that would be kind of cool for them to get together. Margaret is supposed to get together with Edward, but because they swapped, Edward fell in love with Stacy and Stacy fell in love with Edward, and Margaret fell in love with Kevin instead. So you see how crazy that kind of got or whatever. So when it was time to switch back or whatever for the bake off, you know how shenanigans happen. They end up switching back, and Stacy admits to Edward that it was her all this time and it wasn't Margaret at all. And then Prince Edward was like, well, he still wants to marry her. She marries Edward, and Margaret and Kevin starts a relationship. Okay, cool. So the second movie, basically, they we discovered that Margaret and Kevin had broke up, pretty much, right? And um Margaret's cousin Margaret cousin from that one basically was like, oh, she's a duchess. So oh, Jesus Christ, I'm sorry. So basically her cousin, I'm sorry, I confused them again in my head. Okay. So we know Stacy is now the princess and Margaret is preparing to become the queen, right? And she also has to deal with the responsibilities of ruling a nation. And you also realize that Margaret and Kevin ended their relationship because they couldn't really get time together, or that they both kind of miscommunicated with each other, but it is what it is. So we basically have we basically have three now. So oh Lord, it is crazy. So Olivia, no, wait. Oh, Fiona. God dang it. Fiona, I am so sorry. So Fiona wants money because she was running out of whatever. And she decided, hey, if I become queen, I can put a little bit of the money into my account. So let's kidnap them. But Stacy kind of tricked everyone by bringing Kevin and his daughter there to the country to celebrate Christmas with them, so that Margaret and Kevin can talk out their issues, because they really do love each other. It's just that life got in the way. They had a lot of miscommunication. So Stacy decided to pretend to be Margaret at an event that she had to be at, while Margaret pretended to be Stacy so she can go out on a date with Nick, so they can also have, have their little love and their little life or whatever. So it's kind of pretty crazy, to be honest. And Fiona, she wanted to she thought that Stacy was her cousin, so they kidnapped her, and then Margaret, Edward, and Kevin had to figure out where she was at and save her before Fiona ascended to the throne and became queen, to try to kick out the other people and to make sure that she gets money. Everything ended up well. Margaret and Kevin finally admit their love. They got married in the airport, sort of, and then they had an official marriage at the end of the movie, and everything ended up well. So now we got the third movie. Okay, Fiona is serving community service at elementary penitentiary kind of orphanage place. And when I tell you, this girl was cleaning up in heels, a corset, makeup, like she had on a prison outfit, sort of, but she glamorized it up, and I'm just like, are you kidding me? So basically, the third movie is pretty simple. There's this star of David, pretty much. So basically, it's this star. This is called the Star of Peace, and it once belonged to Saint Nicholas himself. And the Vatican loaned it to the princess and the queen so they can celebrate this Christmas little thing that they are having or whatever. So everything seemed like it's going well. They decide that, hey, we're going to do this cool thing because they want to bring the countries together and celebrate this big miracle of Christmas. Apparently, when they put it in the vault, the safety vault, it was stolen. They don't know how it was stolen because everything was scrubbed. So then they decided, hey, why don't we get Fiona and figure out who could have had the information. So Fiona goes to Peter Maxwell, her old flame, once she got out, right? And he used to be part of Interpol, and he figured out that Hunter was a billionaire who took the star, and it's in his private collection. So now they have to get into the party so they can go and steal the Star of Peace. Of course, shenanigans kind of start. Um, Fiona has these bumbling idiots, right? And one of them got injured, so she had to join the team to get the star out of the vault. You know what I'm saying? While Queen Margaret had to actually pretend to be Fiona so she can distract Hunter, and then then Stacy got a call that Fiona needs to be back for a parole hearing because, technically they weren't supposed to let her out, but, because the queen asks nicely, they let her out. But now she has to return. So Stacy had to pretend to be Fiona to get her off of parole while Queen Margaret is charming Hunter pretty much. And during all that time, of course, Peter and Fiona are falling in love because they used to date or whatever. And, Peter wants Fiona to get closure for the loneliness that she has with dealing with her mother, because her mother kind of traveled a lot, because we find out that Fiona's father was very abusive to her, and she didn't really, she wasn't trying to take it out on her daughter, but she tried to put her daughter somewhere that she knows she'll be safe at while she tries to run from her husband at the time and tried to figure out what was going on, while Fiona felt like her mother never loved her because she was always too busy, because she was always travel, which creates Fiona obsession with traveling and spending money or whatever, because it kind of fills that void. And anytime she gets close with somebody, she gets the hell on. But while all of that nonsense is happening, you have the princess pretending to be Fiona, you have the queen pretending to be Fiona, and you have Fiona trying to steal back the Star of Peace with Peter. They do it, but her bumbling idiots become stupid and set off the security systems early, like dummies. Of course they do. But they got the Star of Peace. And then they had to go. But Peter did a switcheroo on Fiona. We thought that Peter was going to betray Fiona, but it was really for her to go to the old school they used to hang out with where they were friends, so Fiona can talk to her mom and get that closure. At first, she didn't want to, because she told her mom, like, hey, I don't, it's too late, because, you made me feel like I was never good enough for you, the all mushy, good stuff. And then Peter gave her the star. Before she talked to her mom, she still talked to her mom, and then she realized that, hey, we don't have that much time. You never know how long you have with people, so enjoy the holidays with the people you care about. She goes, forgives her mom. They bring the star. Margaret asks her cousin and her aunt to join the Christmas, and they did. And the Star of Peace is successfully on the Christmas tree. And of course, all three of the women get their lovers at the end of the movie. Everybody switch back. They all share kisses with their respective lovers, and the movie kind of goes off after that. But another thing that I really want to kind of discuss and talk about is Vanessa Hudgens is creating like some kind of Netflix Christmas kind of thing, Christmas universe. So basically, okay, we have the Princess Switch, we have the Princess Switch switched again, we have the Princess Switch 3 Romancing the Star, but we also have Night Before Christmas, a Christmas Prince, the royal baby, and we also have we also have a Christmas Prince, then a Christmas Prince marriage, and then a royal wedding, and then a Christmas Prince royal baby. And the reason why I want to talk about those four movies that ties into the Princess Switch is because Rose McIver and Ben Lamb, who plays the characters in The Christmas Prince, also appear in the Princess Switch too. And they're also doing their own movies at their time at the same time as well. And then we discover that there is a fourth duplicate of Vanessa Hudgens in Ohio, um, where she meets a shining armor. I mean, knight who they fall in love for Christmas or whatever. And it's kind of crazy because he also talks about the country that Stacy and Queen Margaret are in as well, because he used to be a knight for those countries. So you can see why there is big old such a big old like Christmas Netflix universe sort of going on. I don't know if all the other Netflix Christmas movies are, but so far you have what, 6, 7. So you have 7 movies that are in the same universe, and four characters who look like Vanessa Hudgens. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? And it seems like they're trying to build up this like mini Christmas universe or something like that with princesses and knights and duplicate switches or whatever, because it's kind of crazy. And I just kind of had to talk about it because I'm just kind of mind blown away by the fact that you have this entire you have this entire universe of Christmas movies, but with a few people, and you start seeing these movies connect, and it's just like, whoa, are they going to do another crossover? I would love to see the character that Vanessa plays in Night Before Christmas actually go over to the country where Rose McIver is having her baby. So it's just kind of like, whoa. I mean, well, she already had a baby, but it would kind of be cool to kind of see her, which that will make her confused with the princesses from the Princess Switch movies. And then that can kind of cross over with them coming to see her, to see like, wait, what are you talking about? We're here. And then she's like, wait, what? What's going on here? Why are there 3 other me's? So it could be really crazy. I would hope that Netflix would be smart enough to tie in even more of these like original holiday movies just to kind of see, because it just looks fun. It looks fun, and I'm just like, why not? You know what I'm saying? Why not? That's all I'm saying. I just had to make this quick little Christmas video thing because it was just kind of fun. It was entertaining to me. And I just was like, wait, I noticed how like all of these movies are starting to like tie in. Like I said, I hope to God it does happen one day. And I hope Vanessa, Rose, or whoever else, they tie things in just because it's fun. I think it's fun. I wouldn't mind seeing it. That's just my opinion. But tell me what you guys think. I'm Sexual Low, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.